Welcome back to another episode of Inside Franklin Athletics. I'm your host, John Shepard, and today DeArmit's not here, but we have one of the 4 student section leaders, Chase Stanger. Chase, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a big week.
So let's start it off with, whenever you first found out that you were going to be a student section leader with the 4 others, Graham, Reagan, and Emma, just overall, how did that feel? Were you nervous? Were you very excited? Or, did you not know, overall, what to do?
I think last year I kind of, after quitting my sports, I joined in the student section, and I think going to all the games made me really want that spot the next year. And I was close with Thomas and Jump Shot, who were 2 of the leaders from last year. And just seeing what they were doing really made me want to do it. And so I kind of paid attention to them with the hopes of being the leader the next year. So I'd say when I was told that me and Reagan, Graham, and Emma were going to be the leaders, I think I knew what I was going to do, and I was just excited for it to start.
So speaking of Thomas and Jump Shot, last year's leaders, did any former student section leaders, did you go back and maybe text or meet with and kind of just give tips on what to do, how often you need to make other sports and stuff like that, just to kind of get a better overall view of how to do it?
Yeah, especially with me being insanely interested in the banner competition this year, I reached out to AJ Rice, who was the winner of the banner in 2016. He kind of told me what it was like when he was there and the things he did. And obviously, I talked to Thomas a bunch this year. I texted with him and asked him he helped me out with the themes a little bit, gave me some theme ideas. Other than that, I think it really was just communication between me and the other leaders to figure out what we were going to do this year.
So with the banner, football, of course, being the one that you gained the banner from, but other sports like soccer, girls and boys and stuff like that, how hard is it for all you guys to kind of even out those sports to cheer on the other players that are in fall sports?
I would say it's definitely more difficult, mainly because those sports have multiple games during the week, when as football, it has one big game, and it's at the end of the week, and so it's kind of leading up to the big Friday, the Friday that everyone gets out of school, and so everyone's going to be able to make it to the game. But really, it's all about social media. If you can get a good post out on social media and give it to the following, then most of the time they're going to end up showing up.
Yeah, of course. So a favorite experience so far this year? There's been a lot, but what is the favorite and why?
Favorite as in for the banner or just student section?
Just overall, what is your favorite thing student section so far, at a game, or just what's your favorite thing so far?
Okay, I got 2. One that's non and then one that is. Obviously, I got to throw in the skydiving. That was definitely a top experience of my life in general. Leading up to that point, I had no expectations. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to jump out. I just thought I'd be too scared. But
I think the people watching this can tell your non-favorite one.
Oh, yeah, definitely that. But so like I was saying, the skydiving thing was a really big deal. Having people kind of cheer me on going up to that point was just phenomenal. It gave me the confidence to jump out of the plane. But then I got to say, non-skydiving one, non-banner competition one, has got to be, there's a time where the fans in the back, the freshmen mainly, they sometimes struggle to get loud with the other classes because they think that they don't matter. So I have to give a little bit pep talks every once in a while. And against Martinsville, I just had this bright idea. I screamed to the student section. I said, "Hey, part like the Red Sea." And so they parted down the middle and gave me a clear way to go up and talk to the freshmen. And I think that was pretty cool. There's some pretty good pictures out of that. So definitely that.
So your favorite skydiving, be honest. Beforehand, how scared and nervous were you? Don't lie. Do not lie.
I have to say, driving up there was probably the most anxiety-filled point. Mm-hmm. I was like, am I really gonna be able to do this? But once I got there and once I talked to the people, and also I drank a Red Bull, which really helped because Red Bull gives you wings, like they say. But honestly, just talking to the people, the trained professionals, and they were telling me how it was gonna go, it was definitely a lot more calming. The people were just super nice there. I'd say one thing that did really scare me is that beforehand they put you in this room and they show this video to you, and it's basically 3 minutes of them over and over saying again, if you get hurt, it's on you. They're like, you could die from this. You need to know what you're getting into, but it's on you if it happens. And that scared me. That scared the crap out of me. But once I got up there, I was ready. So
did it take a lot of convincing to your parents to let you do this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I kind of threatened them with I gave 2 ultimatums. I said either you're gonna let me get a tattoo of AC, or you're gonna let me skydive. And my mom was on board with it. My dad, however, was not, because so many people know I have a heart condition, and he thought I was gonna die in the sky. So
I think if the thing that happened at the sectional game, Whitelands, I think if that happened, that both Denise and Robert would not have let you go on.
Yeah, I think if that would have happened beforehand, I definitely would have been able to go. That was a pretty big deal, I guess. Not to me, but to everyone else, and especially them. But honestly, after convincing my mom, at that point, it was just her convincing him, and I mean, she's pretty good at that. So.
But the AC tattoo, that would have been crazy.
I think it would have been cool. Honestly, I got a couple tattoos myself, but having AC tattooed on me for the rest of the life would be pretty insane. Especially if we didn't win the banner, then I'd probably just like cut my arm off.
So throw away all the banner stuff. Do you think without any of that, no AC, no banners, say it wasn't a thing, do you think this year you still would have had a blast?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the past years, the banner's not necessarily always the goal. It's really just to get the community involved with you, which the banner has helped for. But just seeing like how good our football team was this year too, that definitely helped a lot. I mean, if your football team's not going to be very good, then no one's really going to want to go to your games. But there were some pretty big games this year, win or lose, and the fans wanted to go there regardless of the banner or not. The banner was just an extra thing. But really, I'd say it's just the atmosphere that surrounds a football game itself is what draws people to go there.
Yeah, the year that we won the banner last time, we were 1-9.
Yeah.
That is school spirit.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's all about just showing up and getting loud, no matter if your team's losing.
So I know the 3 leaders, you went to elementary and stuff with Emma, but Graham and Reagan, like, has this year made you a lot closer with them too, like as a friend or just knowing them better?
100%, because a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't really know is that we always are texting. It's always a constant text. We have our meetings on Tuesdays in the morning with Chaz Hill, our advisor, and it's honestly a bunch of after school hours of making posters, figuring out what we're going to do for the next banner post, thinking about going to the tailgates, all that stuff. And it's a lot of planning and preparing. And I'd say that, like, once we're in the moment and we're all doing, like, the chants together and we all spread it out evenly between doing the chants and stuff, it really just brings you together. And you can tell by some of the pictures that we have of all of us. We always have a smile on our face.
Yeah.
And it definitely has brought me closer to them.
So Coach Hill being, like you said, the overview, the, like, top guy, has he done a good job at helping you guys out? And, like, what are some things that, like, he's helped? Because, like, I know, like, you can have meetings in the morning and stuff like that, but once game time comes for football, especially, like, he's on the field, he's coaching, so, like, he can't really, like, view what you guys are doing. So, like, just what has he done to help?
Honestly, his support has been unreal. It's hard to have someone that's a teacher kind of be in support of the crazy ideas that you have, but Chaz, I mean, he does a great job of helping us out. He knows everything before we even do it. He's kind of like he gives us the guidelines of what we can and what we can't do, which is something that we do need, because without those, we would probably not even have a student section in general because we're a little crazy. But yeah, definitely he helps us with kind of getting things organized too, which is a really big part. Emma does a great job with that too, but Chaz, he gets everything set up and he gets the word out to Doty and stuff to make sure everything's fine. And without that kind of higher up representative, we wouldn't be able to do the things we do this year. So
you guys being in the top 2 now against Martinsville, which is a conference school, which what are the odds of that? But just teachers around the school, like, what have they done, like, you know, letting you do your thing in class to be able to be prepared for this Friday? And just overall, like, what have they done to help you to get where you are right now?
Yeah, first one I'm going to mention is I got to say Doty, because Doty has been in full support of us this whole year. I mean, I wouldn't say he's necessarily not a teacher, but he is part of the staff at the school, and he's done an amazing job with helping us out with getting convocations, pep rallies, all that kind of stuff, helping us do our videos. And I couldn't do the things that I've done this year. We couldn't have done the things we've done this year without him. And then I want to say probably my sports marketing teacher, Stephanie Woodring. She has been phenomenal. I mean, actually this week and last week, one of our assignments was called The Banner, and we had to group together and kind of figure out what ideas we would do to possibly win the banner, and that has definitely helped. She's always let me doing my stuff in that class. And then I have to say, Kevin Hankins being in his class for mass media and advanced radio and television kind of gave me the skills to do the editing that I've done so far. And being in that class, having like the technology there to edit has definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. But so preseason, were you guys, whenever you learned, like you found out you're going to be the leaders and stuff like that, did you right away say we want to win the banner? Or like when did you finally like, okay, this is a thing, we're able to do this, let's do it?
So it's actually funny. So when I first became the leader, I always knew of the banner because I knew Thomas and them kind of tried a little bit. And then my freshman year, when I was on the football team, we had tried for it. We were in the final 8 actually. But I always thought that it was just like your area. Like when we had our first game, I saw how like good our student section was. I was like, hey, maybe we could win this thing. I didn't realize that it was kind of the whole state. I thought it was just like our county. And so I was like, you know what, we're going to win this thing. And so I initially took it upon me like to do some more research about it, and I stumbled upon Anthony Calhoun, who's the main guy. I stumbled upon his account and realized that it's everyone, 6A, 5A, 4A. It's everyone that just kind of puts the word out there. And I think honestly, seeing Center Grove student section be on there, I knew that they had the numbers, but I didn't think that they would be as kind of loud and spirited as we were. So I was like, okay, if they're on that top 8, then I think we can do it too.
It came down to kind of the area, Martinsville, Franklin. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, it's really, it's not necessarily about numbers. I mean, you look at those 6A schools like Center Grove, Hamilton Southeastern. They're huge. Cathedral as well. They're huge. They have huge student sections, and they are pretty crazy. But it also has to do with social media and that social media presence, like with the skydiving video, with the celebrity shout outs, with the whole community getting involved. It's really just comes upon like that's what Martinsville does good too. They join in with their community and they put out videos, and that's kind of how if you're an underrated school like us, the underdog, that's how you kind of rise to the top. And yeah.
So, Cage being the football video guy, did he kind of get some clips that like helped you guys out and like get some videos of you guys?
Oh, 100%. He started his own little YouTube channel called Inside the Blue Crew, which we had a couple of videos posted on there, and they're pretty entertaining, and got a lot of feedback on those, and that kind of drew more attention towards us. And he also posted the like weekly highlights from the games, and would add like the student section into there too, which also drew a lot of attention to us. And sometimes I'll have him, when I'm editing something, I'll have him send me some of the clips that he's gotten in the student section because he has a nicer camera than some people out there. So yeah, he's definitely helped out a lot with providing footage and definitely helping with the banner and giving us pictures and stuff. So yeah.
When did Mo Bamba become a big thing for the student section? I hear it. I used to hear it every game that we had the speaker and we were able to.
Yeah, so at Whitelands, it was funny. I got this bright idea as like, you know what, before this game, we got to get everyone going, get everyone crazy. Yeah. And I just know that song does it. I actually looked up the clean version when the time came. But obviously people know the lyrics, and so they were screaming those cuss words like no other. And so people thought we were playing the bad song, but I wasn't trying to get it like that. But definitely I'd say Whiteland was the start of it. And then I think we did it twice at Whiteland because it was so crazy and everyone was jumping around and stuff. And then we did it again, kind of pushed our limits and got the speaker taken away. But that Whiteland was definitely the one that we started on.
All right, well, you, Emma, Reagan, and Graham have done a great job this year, and hopefully this Friday we take the top.
True
and
that.
If you see this, just know that Franklin wants the banner.
He knows.
And that was another episode of Inside Franklin Athletics.